Kevin Nisbet.
Hello and welcome to Easter Road and Hibs TV as we build up to this afternoon's visit of a Dundee United side who, despite a 2-0 loss to Rangers last time out, have put together a string of impressive results to lift them off the foot of the cinch Premiership table. As for Hibs, well, Lee Johnson's side bounced back from the disappointing Derby defeat with a hard-fought 3-2 win over Motherwell at Fir Park. They'll be hoping that Kevin Nisbet can continue his red-hot form in front of goal and hopefully help us deliver another important 3 points. It's Hibs versus Dundee United and a 3 p.m. kickoff. And to help us preview this one, I'm delighted to be joined by our club journalist Gavin Rittoo and of course Hibernian FC legend Pat Stanton. Gav, I'll start with you. How much are you looking forward to this game?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think, well, our first home game of 2023 should be a great spectacle, and obviously coming in off that win at Fir Park against Motherwell, I think the boys will come into it full of confidence and hopefully we can get another 3 points.
How important was that win against Motherwell, Pat?
Oh, they had to win in that game. That was a must. They were in a position where they couldn't make mistakes, and I thought they played very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And today, obviously, we play against a Dundee United side that have been in good form of late. How difficult will this match be?
The same again. It's difficult. It was the other result was a good result, but to make it look even better, a result today, and you've got to go out and make it happen. There's no point in trying to play the same way you played the previous game where you won. It's another game. It's going to be different, but as long as your attitude's correct and your application is there, it gives you a chance. But that game is gone. It's in the past. It's what happens here today.
Yeah, one man that made that happen at Motherwell, Gav, was Kevin Nisbet. He's been in red-hot form, hasn't he, since he returned from his long-term injury?
Yeah, he was brilliant at Fir Park, and I think earlier in the season Lee Johnson touched upon it before, but we weren't clinical enough in front of goal, and with Nisbet coming back, he's got 5 goals in 5 games, I think, and he really showed that against Motherwell. To be honest, he didn't actually see a lot of the ball in the 90 minutes, but when he did get the ball, he made it count and he took his chances brilliantly.
Well, let's have a look at that hat-trick now then. Kevin Nisbet, as Gav and Pat both said, in red-hot form at the moment.
Goes wide to McGeady. Far side. McGeady just turning him again. Chance here for Nisbet and he scores! Much better from Hibs. Aidan McGeady, the architect, twisted to get himself some space up against Paul McGinn. Played a lovely ball into the box, Kevin Nisbet takes it down, one touch, fires it beyond Kelly, and Hibs have the lead. Motherwell 0, Hibs 1.
Absolutely fantastic wing play from Aidan McGeady there. Jinx in turns. Kevin Nisbet knows that the ball's coming in. He just peels off Ricky Lamie at the back. Kyle McGuinness makes a good run. He just takes Lamie away. Kevin Nisbet sitting centre of the goal where you want your striker to be, but it's all down to Aidan McGeady. Quick feet, twist Paul McGinn in and out. Paul McGinn doesn't know where he's going. Good ball in. As I said right at the start, Cliff, for me as an ex-winger, I'd be looking at the Motherwell right and left back and thinking we can certainly get at the two of them.
Let's get the free kick. Clip of the heels of McGuinness.
Chance.
Johan's in. Chance here for Hibs. Can he find Nisbet? He does. Kevin Nisbet slots it into the net. Hibs have a 2-goal lead. Ellie Johan springs the Motherwell defence over on the far side. Took a touch, showed composure to look up, saw Kevin Nisbet at the back post, rolls it into the path of the Hibs number 15. Motherwell 0, Hibs 2.
Good play again. I think it comes from a quick free kick. Joe Newell's vision. Oh no, it's Ryan Porteous,
yeah.
Great ball in. Ellie Yuan, good run. Kevin Nisbet doesn't miss for there. You know, centre to go again. You know, Kevin Nisbet. Good pick out from Ellie Yuan. Again, wing play, two wingers. Said it right at the start. I thought that's where we would get our joy. Oh, Kevin Nisbet will be loving the fact that Ellie Yuan and Aidan McGeady are giving him service like that, because he was causing us a few problems. Put Aidan McGeady over to the right hand side for the looks of things.
There's Ryan Porteous won a great challenge in the midfield area
Chance.
already. Nisbet.
Goal.
Oh, there we have it. We have the hat trick. Kevin Nisbet give Hibs a 3-1 lead. And that was just what Hibs needed at that point, Kevin. Motherwell had certainly come right back into the game after getting the goal back. And that might just lift the pressure again off Hibs after Lee Johnson makes that change. But
comes from Ryan Porteous again.
He's won that ball brilliantly in midfield there. And it's a good ball in
Good
from
movement
Josh Campbell.
Good movement. You know, we said, you know, you get Kevin Nisbet centre of the goal with deliveries in, he'll score goals, and that's what's happened. You know, the 3 goals have came from the wide areas, good balls into the box. The last one's fantastic movement from Kevin Nisbet.
That's a great finish as well. That's a striker's instinct. He knows where the goals are.
You could see it there, Pat. Kevin Nisbet in red hot form, looking really sharp. He's come back, his physique's grown as well, he looks stronger. How impressed have you been with him?
Oh yeah, he always great ability. Very unlucky with his injury, but it's great to see him back again doing what he's good at. But I would like some other players to join in the scoring lineup with him, because people are going to mark him closer now, and he'll have to work harder to get his space. Great finisher, he's just got that ability. But and like I say, delighted to see him back. But I would just like to see other people contributing a wee bit more goal-wise, because he's not going to score every week, though he probably will after me saying that. But other people have got to take a hand.
Some of those guys, Gav, that could take a hand are the likes of Aidan McGeady. Obviously, he made his first start against Motherwell and put in an excellent performance. And Carl McGuinness as well, obviously, is working his way back to fitness again. He showed last season that he's a threat in front of goal too. Yeah,
definitely. And as we said before, having these guys coming back from injuries, it's almost like new signings. I know I'm kind of repeating the manager, because he said that a lot, but getting the likes of McGeady back, McGuinness back to full fitness, and they've been really positive since they came back. McGeady obviously got his assist against Motherwell, and McGuinness has chipped in with a few goals as well. So as Pat said, it'd be good if he could, get on the score sheet a bit more and maybe get on the score sheet today.
And I suppose, Pat, if those guys continue to link up, Aidan McGeady in particular, he was really, really creative, wasn't he, at Fair Park? If he grows in confidence, Nizzy grows in confidence, Carl McGuinness does, then we could be a real force in front of goal. Yeah,
and the confidence will spread through the team. You get players like that who they've been in the game a long time, but you can see they've still got great enthusiasm for the game, and the younger players will see that, and that's when you are young and you see them, the older experienced players doing that, you say to yourself, that's what I've got to do to be as good as these people, and they're a good example to have.
Yeah, and looking at the league table, Gav, it's incredibly tight still, isn't it? But again, when it is this tight, if you put a run of wins together, you can really propel yourself up.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of the same as last season. As we got into the second half of last season, it was very tight. Teams pushing for that top 6, that top 4. So I think it's probably going to be the same again this season. I think it'd be good if we could kick on from that win at Motherwell. We've got 3 home games now as well, obviously one in the Scottish Cup against Hearts, but I think this could be a real platform for us to really kick-start the second half of our season.
Yeah, and that is exactly what Lee Johnson wants. I caught up with him this week just to preview today's game. Lee, how's the mood been in training this week after a positive result against Motherwell?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously it was a tough week the week before, but I have to say the players' application was really good, and the confidence levels going out into the Motherwell game was still strong, and everybody knew it was an important performance. You could see that steely focus within the boys, It wasn't the best performance in the world, but it was an outstanding result given where we had to be and what we had to achieve. So I think that it's definitely brought a relief to the lads, and that in turn has left a really nice atmosphere during this week, but as focused, because we know how important a game this is.
Yeah, we spoke a lot about getting extra fitness and minutes into the legs of the likes of Kevin Nisbet and Aidan McGeady, and they really showed their quality, didn't they, in that game?
Yeah, but the other obviously challenge is to keep them fresh. You know, it's that balance constantly between pushing them and easing off them enough that when they go into the games, they have the freshness of body and mind to be able to produce those moments of magic like they did at the weekend. And I was delighted for Kevin, and he deserves that, but equally as so I was delighted for Aidan. It's been a tough time, you know, out for a long time, and you see the quality that he's got in the final third, and the more players with high IQ and high technique that you've got, the better it will serve us in the final third. Yeah,
Dundee United obviously up next. How much are you looking forward to this game and being back at Easter Road?
Yeah, well, we always love playing at Easter Road, you know, it's in front of our fans. I think we've had some really good performances at home, a couple of indifferent ones, but as a general rule, our home form has been pretty good. And we've played a style of football that people have enjoyed. You know, we want to score more goals. The last win at home was obviously an excellent one and a 4-0 win, and we want to take that confidence into that game. And I think that, you know, the fan base behind us is absolutely key, and I think they have been, and they certainly will be.
What do you expect from them? Because they've developed a lot in terms of their style, haven't they, since we played them earlier on this season?
Yeah, they're a good team. You know, obviously they've had a bad start, but you can see the individual quality they've got. We're still hurting actually from our performance that we thought was good, but certainly the result, and we felt we was a little bit hard done by with a 1-0 loss after on the back of 4 wins. So, you know, that feeling is in there, and you've got to use that for motivation. But they are a good side, they're dangerous, they've got a lot of agility, they've obviously got an old stalwart in Fletcher up front, and they've got quite a unique style in the way they play as well. So it'll be up to us to take the ball in this game and to really try and impose ourselves technically and tactically on them, particularly given the fact that it's a home game.
Yeah, just finally, in terms of team news, will there anyone be back around or in the squad this weekend?
Well, good news in terms of Jake Hayes, which is great. He's trained for 10 days on the spin now and goes back into the squad. And we have the potential to sort of slip in Lewis Miller as well. 12 weeks I think he's been out, and he's only had a couple of days training, but at the same time certainly primed for some minutes because he's got himself in really good shape.
Absolutely, Lee. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Cheers.
Pat, we heard from Lee Johnson just then. Obviously, he was thrilled, wasn't he, with the win, ultimately the 3 points, but also elements of the performance against Motherwell.
That's right, and he had every right to be so, because there's games where they've played quite well, sometimes just only a half a game, but still some of it's been pretty good, and they've got nothing out of it, you know. And players, if you're on a run, you tend to maybe lose a bit of confidence, and you start wondering what's wrong, and but that changes, you know. You can, and it changes sometimes when you least expect it. You go into a game where you're maybe not looking for a big result, you get one, and then the confidence just spreads, and it's got a lot to do with that, you know, just fancying your chances.
Yeah, and another benefit that Lee Johnson said in that interview, Gav, is that Jake Hayes has been in training for around 10 days, and Lewis Miller's also back in training, again, just adding depth to his squad.
Yeah, definitely, and could be 2 key players going into the second half of the season. I know Jake had a lot of minutes in last season as well, and he was a really important figure in that middle of the pitch, so I think he could be a great asset. And obviously Lewis Miller, I know Chris Cadden went off against Motherwell. I think it was maybe an issue with his back, so if he's not going to be fully fit, it'll be great to have Lewis Miller come back in, and also, you know, having more competition for that place at right back, because the more competition the better. I think it helps raise the performance levels of the players.
Yeah, absolutely does. Well, stay with us because we're just going to go to a quick commercial break now, but afterwards we'll have an interview with Joe Newell alongside much more Hibs chat. See you soon.
Simplexity Travel is made up of some of London's leading bespoke travel managers. Simplexity specialise in luxury travel services for corporate and private clients, groups and individuals who lead busy lives. Simplexity will simplify challenging schedules and complex trip itineraries, ensuring our clients always travel with complete peace of mind and in perfect luxury. Simplexity Travel, making luxury travel simple.
Hello and welcome back to Hibs TV as we build up to today's cinch Premiership game against Dundee United. Well, before the break we heard from our manager Lee Johnson. Let's hear now from our midfield general Joe Newell, who previewed this one with Gavin Rittoo.
Joe, we're looking ahead to this weekend's fixture with Dundee United. What's the mood like being in camp this week?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously after the win on the weekend, it's been nice to have a good, positive, energetic camp this week. So yeah, everyone's in good moods and good confidence.
Yeah, how much did those 3 points lift the spirits?
Yeah, it did. It come at a good time. Obviously, we needed a reaction after the derby. Not just that, but you know, the last few months it hasn't been anywhere near good enough. So it was much needed. It was a big game, obviously on TV, and a bit of pressure leading up to it. So yeah, I thought the lads showed a lot of character. The performance was good, and we got what we deserved. Yeah,
how important was it that the performance was there, but that we also got the result too?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, thinking what Mingheed's interview after the game, when kind of mentioned that we've had very good, important players out for a long spell of time. So having them back is always going to help us. You know, you've seen Nizzy's quality and the hat-trick he got, and we've missed that. So it's very welcome to have him back, and yeah, it's obviously going to help us.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of your own performances as well, you've played virtually every minute this season. What have you made of your performances so far?
Yeah, just try and do my best. I've been any player will tell you they want to have the not security but nice feeling of knowing you're going to play most weeks, and if your performances stay consistent and good, that'll come. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough, to play every game more or less. So yeah, I'm happy, but you know, the team, like I just said, the team hasn't been, and the club haven't done enough the last few months, so I'm more focused on that really. Yeah,
for sure. And 3 home games now to look forward to, starting with Dundee United. How important is it that we keep the momentum going into that one?
Yeah, huge. I think our home record early on in the season was very good. I think we was unbeaten from the start of the season for a number of games, and our form overall, but obviously our home form included in that hasn't been good enough. So it's a good chance now to put a few good performances and get a few good results in.
Appreciate your time, Joe. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Well, we just heard from Joe Newell just then, Pat. He's been a real general, hasn't he, in the middle of the pitch, but he's also becoming a leader, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's playing well. He's getting a bit of consistency. And the players, he's taking the players alongside him. He's taking them with him, and so that if they look to him for a wee bit of example, That's the guy to do. Just see how the way he approaches the game, the way he attacks the opposition, and just do what he does.
Yeah, and he'll be wanting to put that performance or the result, I should say, at Tannadice right, won't he, today, Gav?
Yeah, obviously the teams, as you mentioned, have met once already this season, and yeah, I think that game at Tannadice was probably one to forget for us. Really, it was one of those days where the performance was there, but the result just didn't come. I think Miko had a goal disallowed. We had plenty of chances as well, and our keeper made some brilliant saves. And I think on another day you get 3 points, and the season, could have been different. But I think the players will have that in the back of their mind, and they want to rectify that result this afternoon.
Yeah, Lee Johnson said that as well. It's that game, Pat, hasn't left his mind, and that decision in particular surrounding Miko's goal. As a player, do you think about those moments and use that as motivation, or does that get put to one side?
Yeah, you just do your best to ignore it and just get on with it. There's no point complaining to anybody because you're on the park and yourself. At the end of the day, you take the result. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You've got to take it, and there's disappointments there. And don't wander around for 15 minutes moaning about the decision. It's happened. Get on with things, because in that period of time where you're moaning what happened, you might end up losing the goal because you're not paying attention. You're too busy feeling sorry for yourself, and you just got to get stuck in and try and put things right.
Yeah, where do you think the game today, Pat, could be won or lost?
I think just if they can get the ball to our front men who are playing well, the thing is that they'll be marking our forwards a bit closer. Now that goes with the territory, but and that's where other players step in. If they're getting tightly marked, Boyle when he's playing gets tightly marked, other players have got to come in behind that and take advantage of the fact that the defenders are following them about the place, and there's space there to be taken. But you won't you've got to go and do that. No point standing spectating in the middle of the park. Get up there a bit closer to the front men and take advantage of the fact that they're maybe getting marked tighter than normal.
Yeah, well, that's all we have time for this afternoon. International subscribers can watch the game, of course, on Hibs TV, but if you are in the UK and you are a subscriber, then you can listen to audio commentary provided by Cliff Pike and Joel Murray. Pat, Gav, thank you very much for joining us. Everyone at home, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully Hibs will be able to serve up a few more moments like this. See you soon.